Pro Wrestling Edge is back. It is tonight. It is me, Dan O'Mac, with the Meadowbrook mobster, Nick the Gooch. What's up, man?
Hey, not a whole lot, man. Just enjoying my day off, doing some drawing, sitting back, relaxing. How about you, brother?
Doing well. I'm excited tonight. We have a guest with us. We're going to get to him just a few moments. But go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, Nick.
On Twitter, you can find me at NickKaz1. Facebook is my name, Nick Kazalukas. Instagram is PWE the Gooch. And for the time being with TikTok, what's going on with that, you can still find me at PWE Pod the Gooch.
Are you posting much there right now?
I haven't in a few because, I mean, all my videos are going to be gone anyway by the time this whole thing's done and over with. So I don't know. Still messing around, trying to find time with it.
So what about Josh? Where can we find Josh? He's not with us tonight.
Facebook, his name, Josh Rakowski. On Twitter, the original Bro19, and on his Instagram at JRut_19.
What about your brother, Brandon?
I think it is Big Kaz with two Z's on Twitter, or PWE Big Kaz.
Yeah, and I think it's PWE_Big Kaz. If you search that, you can find him. It's PB Kaz, I believe, is his Twitter handle.
And on Facebook, you can find him at his name, Brandon Kazalukas. Where can we find you at, Dan?
And I'm Dan O'Mac17 on Twitter and Instagram. The podcast is at PWE Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are Pro Edge Productions on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and like and hit that notification so you get that bell so you can get notifications on when new episodes drop. But yeah, so let's get to our guest. I'm pretty excited for our guest tonight. Arthur McArthur, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, just another day. We're getting closer to that weekend.
I need that weekend.
We started seeing you at these undisclosed location shows. You are in Ohio. So just so you know, when we started our podcast, we didn't really let people from Ohio on the podcast.
Is there a rivalry there, or what's up?
But we are now buddies with Chris Kohlenberg. So now we invite all the Ohio people in. So we've had Percy on, we've had Rod Leon. Now we got you on. So we are happy to have you, Arthur.
Good to be here, man.
So, Nick, did you have any questions you wanted to start with Arthur on? Or do you want me to go ahead and start?
Really, just basically, how'd you get into the business as it is?
Well, first off, I've been wanting to do it my whole life for the most part. When I was in high school, there really wasn't many schools, so I kind of went into the military, did that for a while. Came back, and I see that AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling out of Cleveland, was running a school, and I decided I'm going to sign up. Went there, trained by Dominic Guarini, Derek Direction, and for about a year. Debuted in May of 2019. Been traveling the entire Midwest ever since, and gotta say, it's been quite the time.
Nice. So, you said you always liked wrestling and stuff. Were you a WWE guy? A WCW guy? What were you?
I was definitely a WWF kid back in the day.
Gotcha.
Had all the figures, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, you name it.
So you were a WCW. I was growing up. I'm a little older than you are. I was a WCW kid. So
right.
I was a big WCW kid. The Horsemen and stuff. So that was where I started out my love for wrestling.
Sure.
So you trained under Dominic Guarini and them for a year, you said?
Yes.
So you trained for them a year, and then you've been running it ever since.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome. Go ahead, Nick. What else did you have?
What promotion actually did you get your start out at?
Well, unofficially, I had my first start at our little sister promotion. We like to call it our NXT. It's a UXWA out in Brook Park, Ohio. It's within us. We send all of our students there to do shows as well. That was my first unofficial match. It was like a pre-show thing, a four-way scramble. But my actual thing I consider a debut would be with AIW. It was at May 2019. Yeah, it was this four-way between me, Chuck Stone, Mikey Montgomery, Eric Taylor. We all debuted in great fashion, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
we've
now
seen Mikey too. Yeah, he's been at some of the undisclosed shows. Mikey Montgomery, we've seen him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now you bring up Chuck Stone. You said you debuted together.
Right.
When that is your tag team partner in your guys' team bulking season, correct?
Yep, that's right.
How did you guys come about actually forming that tag team?
Well, it started off because when we had graduated from the academy at AIW, Mikey and Eric, they kind of became their own thing, the Bitcoin boys. Me and Chuck were kind of on our own, didn't have much of a direction, and then we came up with this great idea where it's like, hey, Chuck Stone at the time, his gimmick was more, I'm a fat guy, and we're like, what if we make it kind of like a Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown thing, where it's like, D'Lo's trying to get Mark Henry into shape and stuff. I'm a big, strong man, and he's just the big, fat burger guy. I'm trying to help him get into shape. And I got to give credit. Dom did come up with the name Bulking Season, and I just loved it. Cut a nice promo at UXWA. We started tagging ever since. That's about it, really, man. We just kind of gelled after a while, and I think it's really left an impression on a lot of people.
Now, do you also wrestle as a singles, or are you pretty much a tag team?
Well, for the most part, I wrestle in singles a lot. I tag with Chuck a lot. I've never really tagged with anyone else besides maybe Twan Tucker. Like, that was one time, though, as a replacement when Chuck couldn't make a show. But, yeah, for the most part, it's about divided. Like, I can do solo. I can do tag. It's either way works for me.
So when did you guys, you said May of 19 you started. When this year did you guys shut down in Ohio where you guys couldn't have shows anymore?
Well, our very last show AIW ran was February of 2020, of course. We had a show planned in March, our Royal Rumble type show, and then that got shut down very last second, actually the same week. But my last match before the shutdown was with a small promotion down south in, I like to call it Kentuckiana, at Grindhouse Wrestling. Had a little singles match there. 5 days later, we're not allowed to wrestle no more.
Yeah, and you guys are still shut down. You guys can't do anything. Am I correct in Ohio?
So from what I'm understanding, it's like they can technically run events, but there could be no fans, and everyone has to get a COVID test, and those COVID tests are not cheap. It's just not worth it, man. Like, we'd rather just lay low for a while, travel to different states. That's what we plan on doing next month with AIW. We're going to Indianapolis for a doubleheader with GCW.
Nice.
And, yeah.
Now, you said you debuted in 2019, so you've had a decent year of, just starting out and having those times in front of the fans.
Right.
What's it been like for you to wrestle in this pandemic time where you've got very little, almost to no fans at all, and still putting on these shows?
It's a challenge, I think wrestling is dependent on the fans and the reactions and the emotion, with that crowd, and without them there, it's a whole different ball game. Like, I think my first match after quarantine was with this promotion out in Pittsburgh called Fight Underground, and their whole it's similar in a fashion to what Raw's doing with Raw Underground, but it's not shoot style. It's just your standard matches, but everyone's like crowding around the ring. So, I mean, I guess there were kind of fans there, but like not really. Obviously, they're going to react no matter what. But like I said, yeah, it's hard to, wrestle without the fans there. Even when I wrestled in front of a very low drawing house, I remember one time I wrestled a show and 7 people showed up, and I'm like, oh boy, what am I going to do here? You just got to play to the best you can. Like, these shows we got going on, undisclosed, decent crowds considering, you know, these are just people's houses.
So when you started doing these undisclosed shows, had you worked Michigan before, or was this your first time coming to Michigan?
Technically, I did do one show in Michigan. I did a thing with Kaiju Big Battle. I got to be Cycloptopus, and that was really fun. But other than that, I didn't really technically debut in the state of Michigan as, you know, Arthur McArthur. It was my debut there. But thankfully, I am getting more looks out in the state of Michigan, so I look forward to that in the future. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Michigan right now.
Was your first show, was it the Horror Slam RPW joint show? Was that your first undisclosed show?
Yeah, that was the first one. I was in that 7-man scramble.
Yeah. Yeah, the moment you walked out, we were like, "Wow, we like this." So where was your inspiration for Arthur McArthur?
That is a long story, but I'll try and shorten up and make it sweet. So, you know, training at AIW, you know, obviously you don't really have everything set. You're just focused on getting the drills down, knowing how things work. And I came up with all these ideas, man, and I'm not going to say them because they're kind of embarrassing now. But one day our promoter looked at me. He's like, "That's a circus strongman right there." And I'm like, what? And they pitched this idea to me. I'm just thinking, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And then I did my research, and I think to like that one character from Family Guy when they're doing like the steak and egg bit.
Yeah, the Working Out Brothers.
Yeah. And I look up these old photos of these old school strongmen from those days. I'm like, you know something? I think I can make this work. You know, for the most part, I don't see anyone doing this. You know, only close example I can think of is, you know, Simon Gotch, but he's not really a strongman. He's just of that era. So, you know, I just kept digging my research, you know, try to find the, you know, the culture of, I'm more based in the 1920s, I guess you can say. But yeah, I just study a lot of that, slow, methodical matches.
Well, we definitely dig it from that first show, man. You guys, it was something that stood out to us. Like you said, you don't see anybody doing it. Even Simon Gotch has kind of changed what he does. So it was definitely unique, and that's why at that show we saw so many people for the first time, and you were the one that stood out to us because you were just different from everybody else. And in wrestling, that's good. That's a good thing to be different.
Yeah, it's one of my goals with the character is just to be the one that everyone knows and remembers. You know, because I'll not to toot my own horn, I'll watch myself in a battle royal at some promotion or anywhere else, and everyone's wearing, you know, kind of the same stuff. You know, here's a guy with some trunks. Here's a guy with a shirt and pants. Oh, there's a guy in a gold one-stripe singlet. You know, it's kind of gets me.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely stick out, and that's good in this business. That's your
absolutely.
In. So you're definitely doing that the right way. Nick, you got anything?
So to backtrack a little bit, you said your first match back was at Fight Underground, correct?
Back
for the quarantine.
Yeah.
And that was against Flex Simmons.
Yeah, Flex Simmons.
Now, how did you feel going into that match? You know, after being done for wrestling during the whole quarantine time.
Well, it kind of took me for a swerve. So originally the plan was me and Chuck Stone were going there as bulking season. We were gonna tape a couple matches there. Well, unfortunately, Chuck and our good friend Zach Thomas, you guys know Zach Thomas. They both worked together actually, and their work got changed last second, and they couldn't make it. It was like an early morning taping, so I messaged them. I'm like, "Hey, look, man, Chuck can't make it now, and I know we're a tag team. I really want to work still." Well, they just gave me Zach Thomas's opponent he was supposed to face, and Flex Simmons. And I'm like, oh, man, I really got to do a singles now. I was not mentally prepared for that. But, you know, Flex was very well trained. He's out of the ROH dojo. But like I said, there was no fans there. So we kept it short for the most part. I definitely figured I could use some more ring work again, get the cardio back. But that was a lot of fun. It really gave me the confidence I needed going forward because I figured that I may be a little rusty.
Oh,
But yeah.
Well, during the pandemic and the quarantine, when you weren't having any bookings or whatever, what were you doing to kind of stay sane?
Besides sulking, man, just you know, I worked a lot. You know, obviously I did manage what I could. You know, when it comes to wrestling, I did, you know, as much home workout as I could. I tried getting into running, but I couldn't do it, man. Running is just not for me. Once I got out of the Army, I'm like, I'm never running more than a mile the rest of my life. You know? I'll stick to the bikes. I'll stick to the treadmills. This distance stuff, it hurts. It doesn't do me any favors, especially for my character. But, you know, a lot of tape study as well. That was really important.
So you were able to keep working, though, during that time? Because some people couldn't work.
So my hours were cut, and I was able to get some unemployment out of that, thankfully.
Are you a gamer or anything? That you were gaming or anything?
Gaming, yeah. I was playing a little bit of games, wasn't I? What was I playing? I think I re-picked up Red Dead Redemption just to kind of replay it. I love that game more than anything. What else did I play? I don't even remember.
A lot of guys in this area, they did the switch and went over to Twitch and started a gaming channel when they couldn't wrestle. Keep themselves occupied. So that's why I always like to ask if our guests are into gaming and did any of that during this quarantine.
Yeah, I definitely didn't stream, especially not as Arthur McArthur. I just don't think that would make sense, you know? Yep.
So now that shows, at least, well, not in Ohio, but there's more shows happening. You know, there's more shows now going on, and hopefully we're winding down on this pandemic to an extent where there's going to be more stuff going on. So what's the goals for Arthur McArthur going forward in 2020 and into 2021?
Well, as with everything opening back up and not having much options in Ohio right now, it's just getting out there, you know. Last weekend I showed face at this promotion in Tennessee called Kapow, you know, to really, you know, expand myself, because you can message every promoter, every promotion a message, sending them a resume, but that only goes so far, and they get bombarded. They probably have hundreds in their inbox. They probably don't even read it. You know, you just gotta show the effort that you want it, you know, help them set up. And because of that, they gave me a spot in their pre-show battle royal and really show them what I was about. And other goals obviously is just to keep on working, you know, don't slack off. Really want to get into these bigger promotions as well, especially the ones with a lot of hype surrounding it. Really love to get an opportunity in different states as well. I've been wrestling around the Midwest for the most part, but I'd really love to get more down south.
Yeah, so as a talented up-and-comer, what would be one of your dream match opponents or dream opponents?
Dream match? Man, I should have mentally prepared for that one. Let's see. I have a list, actually. Hold on. Can you guys still hear me, see me, whatever?
We can still hear you, yeah.
Okay, because I have a list. Let me pull it up.
Nice.
Okay, where is this thing? Do I still have it?
Got a list and checking it off as it goes.
Yeah, I got my notes app is just full of random things here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so sorry, you're just have to listen to my voice, but that's okay. So
that's absolutely fine.
In the world of singles matches, dream matches, I have a few. I'd love to get with Levi Everett. He's been really picking up steam. I actually did wrestle him in a tag match with Chuck once, and that was a short little pre-show match at AIW. It was really short. You know, it was fun. I loved working with him. I think we could do a lot more together, one-on-one. Marion Fontaine, he's kind of a local legend in these parts. Similar gimmick, old-timey. He runs old wrestling. That's somewhere I'd like to go to at some point. It's kind of just who I am.
Old Wrestling, I believe they've ran here in Detroit, haven't they, Nick?
They have. They have,
It's
actually.
in some distillery. Actually, the one show that I was going to go to before the pandemic, it showed Jeff King and Jody Threat's other alter ego. They were on the booking. They were on the card for that show.
Yeah, Old Wrestling. Yeah, they come up here every now and then, Arthur.
Okay, yeah. I'd also like to, I see Manders. He's really picking up steam. He's another big Hoss man. Had some great matches with a AIW guy himself, Twan Tucker. Definitely worth checking out. Definitely would love an opportunity where I'm sure you guys know who he is, Brett Eisen.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, he's a solid dude. I think in the short amount of time he's been doing this, he's just really picked up steam. One other person, actually no, two other people. One being Calvin Tankman, who just signed to MLW. I think he's just an absolute beast, especially for someone his size. I mean, I see him doing these jumping arm drags. I'm like, whoa, okay. And this might surprise some people. He's more of an up-and-comer. He's only had, 20 matches? But Bastard Cassidy. And I think a match with him would be absolutely incredible, especially with someone so new, so fresh, so hot. He's just someone you want to get after, and I think he wants it. I think it'd be just a brutal altercation. In the world of tags, list isn't so long. I got to re-update it, but number one, I'd say would be the Gym Nasty Boys.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I do like them a lot. I'd like to run a match again with the Rip City Shooters out of AIW. That's Josh Bishop and Wes Barkley. I got to wrestle them once, but it was in my second match ever, and I was kind of thrown in as a replacement last second. Didn't know what I was doing, and it was just – it's not what I wished it could have been. But I think knowing what I know now, it could be a lot better. I guess the only other ones I can think of right now is you guys aware of Bear Country?
I'm not. Are you? Nick?
I'm not either. No.
Okay. They've been AIW once or twice. They're out of Create a Pro in New York. They're two giant hoss dudes, man. I think that's quite the matchup.
So now you talk tag team matches and having a rematch with some of them. I seen you post something a while back. You wanted to run up this match with the Philly and Marino Experience.
Yes. So PME, they're AIW tag champs. They are one of the more entertaining group of people you've ever seen, man. Coming out to Phil Collins dancing around. They've got that true passion. Had one of the greater story arcs of the past summer when they won an Absolution versus God, I can't even think of their name now. They're like the stable of AIW. But Cheech and Collins. But okay. Yeah, they had a really great match there. I think PME, they're really fun to work with. We wrestled at Midwest in Marion, Ohio. We want to do a lot more with them, though. I think we can do even better than we did the first time.
Oh yeah, and that match that I watched of you guys, it was absolutely amazing. I dug it completely.
Thank you.
And like you said, PME, they are absolutely entertaining. Their entrances, their ring work, and everything.
Right.
So there's a couple people in Michigan that, since I've seen you, that I'd like to see you step in the ring with. And there's no rhyme or reason for the first one, other than the fact that I just think that you and Nolan Edwards, I'd love to see you and Nolan Edwards.
I should have put
I don't know
my
why. There's no reason. I don't have like a story or reason for it. I just think Arthur McArthur and Nolan Edwards would be a good match.
I do like Nolan a lot. I actually probably should have put him on my list. I don't know why I didn't. He's a good dude. I get along with him pretty well. Our styles might clash a little bit. I kind of echoed. I heard that, but our styles might clash a little bit because he's a little more serious and I'm not really serious. I mean, I can be, but I think with my character, I'm a little more comedic. But I can turn it around if I needed to. But I would definitely like to work with him if possible.
I don't know. From the first time, I was like, I'd love to see him and Nolan. I don't know why, but I'd love to see you and Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
And then a tag team. I would love to see bulking season against the Purge.
The Purge.
Kevin Calloway and Sean Tyler. Well, they were the faceless. They just came the Purge again. It's them and Justin Pilgrim. But I think bulking season and the Purge would be a good match. So check out the Purge, or you'll probably find them as the faceless.
I think bulking season would absolutely tear up the Purge.
I know you're not a fan of the Purge, Nick.
I'm fan or not. I just regardless. I think bulking season would take them down.
But I think that would be a good tag team.
It would be one hell of a match.
All right.
So Arthur, check them out, and but yeah, I think that would be a good one for a tag team match with bulking season. Is the Purge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is Brandon coming in?
I just texted him. I told him to get in here.
He's gonna jump in. So you have your list of who you want. Your list of guys that you want to get with in the ring and do your thing and whatnot.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is he coming?
He's here. I see why he took a minute to.
Oh, I'm sure I know why he took a minute to join us. He wanted to represent.
He had to get his merch on.
Hey. I like to see, man.
So Brandon, I know he's just getting with us. We've asked him a few things. Was there anything that you wanted to ask? And if we've asked it already, we'll just tell you that we've already asked it.
I know we've seen him a lot at the RPW Horror Slam shows. How did you guys get connected with those promotions?
Okay. We haven't gotten that one yet.
I didn't ask this, but I already asked him before, so I knew about it. But go ahead.
Yeah, so when it came to Horror Slam, I had seen that a couple of students that are at our school right now, they were advertised for these shows, and they were talking about it. I'm like, we could really use some work right now. Where are you guys working at, this Horror Slam place? Who do I talk to? And I believe I hit up Rachel, and I was like, hey, you guys need anybody? I'm kind of looking to get some reps in. I'd really love to get out there, debut in the state of Michigan. Ask me a few questions. I assumed that I won her over, and then I got to debut at that show in the Scramble. Believe I left a good impression, if you guys remember me that well.
Yeah, we did. If you left it with the fans, that's a big deal. If you leave it with the fans, that's probably good for the promoters too.
Absolutely. And after that, when it came to everybody else, Chuck, I had brought him along. Zach Thomas started coming as well. Bitcoin Boys. Dr. Dan, who's also part of our school, he came with us as well. One time Dom came.
Yes, I was at that one. I was shocked when I saw Dom come out.
I did not expect him to come with us like that. But, yeah, Dom, he's going to be at the next RPW show, so be looking out for that.
Yeah. So as right now, are you going to be doing any stuff with RPW that you know of or not, or you don't know yet?
With RPW, yes. So Chuck Stone and I, bulking season, we are going to be wrestling at the next RPW show, Boiling Point, which is September 5th. Yeah, September 5th in Michigan. We don't know who we're facing yet, and even if we did, we're not going to spoil it until they say so anyways. But I'm hearing a rumor that it might be a good one, and it's going to shock everybody. So I'd stay tuned, man.
That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So with Brandon with the merch on, and Josh before he had to get off because of his technical problems had the merch on. Where can our listeners find some Arthur McArthur and bulking season merch?
Yeah. Well, I got plenty of places. So I recently set up a big cartel, arthurmcarthur.bigcartel.com. I got that set up. I do have a Pro Wrestling Tees account. I don't really promote that as much, but it's just there, because I only have so many size big shirts. So let's say you needed like a 5 or a 7X shirt, you can get it from there. Or if you live in like Germany, because that's a big shipping fee. But yeah, you could get it from there. Big Cartel, Pro Wrestling Tees. I always bring them with me to every show for the merch tables. Yeah, it's essentially where you can find all my merch right now.
And don't you have some other stuff other than shirts?
Oh, of course. Besides my bulky season shirt, the Arthur McArthur shirt, I do have shot glasses with my face, the name on it. They're kind of a fancy looking shape. I actually might have one over here. Hold on a second.
Because I was checking out your merch, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Right there.
Nice.
Hands are a
People
little
can get an Arthur McArthur shot glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Arthur McArthur shot glasses. We got 8x10s. Those are really cool. Don't ask me to sign them, though. I've got the worst handwriting in the world. Yeah.
That's actually, I bought the drawn one of you that I do need signed, so I'll take that crappy handwriting on there. Who did the art for that?
The art for which one? The one where I'm like this with a barbell?
Yes.
That's an old friend of mine, Kayla. She's a fan in the Pittsburgh area. She just randomly drew it for me one time. I took it. I'm like, hey, can I use this? I like it a lot. And she's been letting me use it ever since.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So where can everybody find Arthur McArthur?
You can find me all over the damn place. Let's see. On Facebook, I've got a page for Arthur McArthur. I have a real shoot Facebook, but add the page
That's
first.
All right.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, I'm not afraid to add fans, but it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I got Twitter at Strong McArthur. I recently made a new Instagram, which I need to boost the followers on because I had to shoot one where I incorporated, my real life in wrestling. I'm like, I can't do this. I got to split it up. But that would be Arthur 2_ McArthur.
All right. So we'll definitely have to get everyone to follow you on Instagram to get that page boosted up.
Yeah, please do. Thank you.
2_ between Arthur and McArthur.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the show coming up September 5th for RPW. You and Chuck. Bulking season will be there. What do you have coming up in the meantime? Do you have any shows coming up in the meantime? Are you going to be in Michigan this weekend?
I will be, actually. This Saturday, we're doing our last undisclosed show for the summer tour with Horror Slam. I'm not sure who we're facing yet, but it should be a good one. I think we're going to go all out, especially because it's the last one of the summer tour for Horror Slam. That's this Saturday. Let's see, what else am I doing after that? Don't got anything the next week, but obviously bulking season, we will be at the AIW GCW doubleheader in Indianapolis on Sunday, September 6th.
Nice.
You should get your tickets now if you do want to go because it's nearly sold out.
We actually went to the June GCW show in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I
So
saw.
we made the trip out. Yeah, we made the trip out, a one-day trip. We left that morning and came back that night. But yeah, we definitely made it out there. And you said Calvin Tankman was one of the guys that you are on your list to wrestle. And he was, like I told you, that RPW show, you were the one that stood out to us. He was the one that stood out to us at that GCW show.
He went all out. I saw the gifts and everything. I didn't get to watch the show, but from what I had seen, Calvin Tankman, he really killed it that day.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, Nick, do you have anything else for Arthur?
So in a few of your matches I've seen, you've done some hardcore chairs, trash cans, whatnot. Outside of hardcore, do you ever see yourself doing any type of deathmatch wrestling?
I knew that was coming. I'm not opposed to it. I'll be honest, I've never bladed before, never bled, never used no glass or nothing. It would be weird. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be weird because Jeff King does the stuff, and he's, you know what? Add him to my list too, Jeff King.
That's where I was getting at, because Dan's saying he would like to see the tag matches between you and so. I'd like to see you in a singles against Jeff King. I think with your guys' your older, strong style wrestling, I think it would be a really great matchup.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as death matches go, I'm not opposed to it. I don't consider myself someone who wants to be a deathmatch wrestler, but I'll definitely add a couple down the line.
So you're not telling promoters that you're open for deathmatch bookings right now, is what you're saying?
Not necessarily. I'll do it.
Oh.
You know, I'm always looking for new opportunities, looking to show what I'm about. And if death matches are something they want to see Arthur do, let's make it happen.
What about you, Brandon? You got anything for him?
Just keep it entertaining, man. My favorite part of your matches, besides the wrestling's, we could hear you commentate matches. Put your little input in it, and like I lose it every time. I'm laughing. You and Chuck are great. I like it.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Nick, you got anything else before we let Arthur go today?
Nah, I just you say you appreciate us, man. We appreciate you coming on the show and talking about how you got into the business and what your plans are, man. I just really appreciate you being here.
Absolutely,
and
man.
Thank you for your service
man.
too, brother. Really appreciate
thanks.
that.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Well, that was good. That's one that we like. Am I muted? Yes, I'm muted. No, I'm not muted.
No, we hear you.
So yeah, that was a good one. We like Arthur. We're glad that he's working more in Michigan. Hopefully that'll expand as things keep going.
Can't wait to see him more in the future here in Michigan, or even taking the trip down to Ohio and seeing some of his matches out there.
Yeah, he's going to be at RPW on the 5th, so that's going to be good. Him and Chuck. So bulking season will be there. So I guess we'll wrap this one up, fellas. Brandon, thanks for jumping on with us. I know you wanted to get on and talk to Arthur a little bit, so appreciate you for doing that. Nick, it's always a pleasure. That's 2 in a row you've been able to do. I know your schedule's been kind of wacky.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't feel like it's normal right now. So
nice to have you back on.
Oh, it's always nice to be here.
Do either one of you guys got anything else you want to say before we wrap this one up?
No, man. I think everything was said during the podcast for me.
All right, man. What about you, Brandon?
PWA this Friday.
Pro Wrestling All-Stars?
Yes.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling All-Stars this Friday. They announced their big championship match.
Yes.
Chuck Stein versus the Dread King Logan.
Incredible.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah, that show Friday is going to be a good one. They got Tanner Nixon, Atlas Hightower.
Peter B. Percy Drews versus Capital Vices.
Capital Vices. And you got Jay Maynard defends against TJ Meyer.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
That's going to be a good one. So, yeah, go out.
See our boy Schwartzy.
We love
bringing that BDE to PWA.
Yeah, we love Joseph Schwartz. So yeah, he'll be there as well. So yeah, check it out. Pro Wrestling All Stars, the Detroit Facebook page. The event is Friday. Play Atlantis in Melvindale. It's an outdoor event. Come check it out. Tickets are really, really affordable. $10, $15, something like that for adults.
I think it was like 12 last show.
Yeah, $12 to get in. So yeah, go check them out.
Just like any other show too, doing 50/50s and obviously merch table.
Yeah.
So everything's worth it out there, man. They put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, and then hopefully our boy Tanner retains. I love Atlas too, but I'd love to see Tanner hold on to that belt for a while.
Oh yeah, he deserves a pretty lengthy title run there.
Yeah. All right, since Josh isn't with us, who wants to close it up for us?
Go ahead.
We out.